Hi, I am here to persuade you to get involved in the community and to help those children less fortunate than we are. Did you know that there are more than 13 million youths living in poverty today? Even though this figure is worldwide, there are still plenty that need help just here in the United States. There's about a 40% average reading difference in reading efficiency in California in third graders. Now this means in those homes less economically suited, they read on a 40% of less level than those who are in a middle to higher income level families. Now this is a serious problem. It was also found that most of these problems develop in the home environment. Those parents who went to college and received degrees speak much more and are much more actively engaged in their children's learning. It was found that on an average of a year, parents with degrees speak 8 million words a year more than those who did not go to school or do not do not have degrees. Now this is a big problem, and I think you can see why. When children do not get help in their home and live in poverty-stricken areas where schools aren't as good, then both environments cause them to do worse in their living life. Now, you must realize it is not the fault of the children that they grow up in the environment they do. It is because of their families or parents that they live where they are, and not their fault. These kids are just as deserving as we are as to get a great education, and they deserve so. So, in these less educationally advanced communities, such as cities such as Philadelphia and Chicago, they need to be greater. There needs to be a greater stress in the educational systems and volunteer systems. More volunteers need to tutor and mentor these kids, not only in math and science, but also in life, and talk with them and just advance them in general. Education is a necessity to work in high-level fields and get high-level jobs, as we all know. So since they are not getting the same treatment as some of us are in higher economical communities, then it's not fair and leaves them further behind in life. They have to work a lot harder and do a lot more to get to the level that some of us do in a matter of years. An organization I found was the Tutor-Mentor Connection. Part of their mission statement was to get adult volunteers to contribute their time, effort, ideas, and advocacy toward creating life-changing solutions for children in educationally and economically disadvantaged areas. Now, this main goal is to provide peers to help these children develop in the way that they should. Also, it's to provide a bonding experience between these tutors and these children who need help. Ultimately, by creating this bond and mentorship, it will also help these children stay out of trouble and focus more in the areas that are more important to developing their life and developing jobs and getting them into college. Part of the satisfaction to this is that more funding needs to be given to these programs and for more programs to be implemented today. Now, much of this money must come from the government. The government has tried to initiate programs like No Child Left Behind, but to the most part, these programs have been a total failure. Also, more people must be involved and more volunteers must help these children and realize the problem at stake. This is what I'm trying to do here. I don't think most of you realize how much poverty and how much these children are just as well set to be a president or to advance or to come up with a new energy source than we are, but they are just not given the education to do so. If steps like these, such as more funding and more volunteers getting involved, are to be initiated and put in place, it only leaves a change that will be unprecedented in human history, and I believe will help America far greater than anything you could ever imagine. If kids can be educated on an equal level, and for everyone to receive the same treatment as those in middle and higher financial situations, then it will be fundamental and life-changing for everybody. Like I said, new jobs, like becoming president, or even inventing something in science that never thought of, can result from these people in these communities as well. So they should not be forgotten about or fit under the stereotypical setting that if you're poor, you can't be as smart as some of us, or those in college and receiving degrees. Also, I believe another way this could happen is if incentives were given in companies and corporations to get involved in the community and to get involved in volunteering their time to help those children who are interested in becoming a part of maybe that certain corporation, or just in general to help the children advance their education. From this, more skilled workers will result from this young generation who are being taught at a faster rate and a greater rate than ever before. If they are given the same time as some of us are in Central Bus School District are per se, then the effects from this would be profound. Now, for you must take part in the community and to help these kids today. This cannot wait any longer, and these kids deserve just as much of a treatment and education as we do. Those who are born and raised in these poorer settings are more likely to find themselves in jail and for longer periods of time than those who don't receive an education and a proper mentor to help them in their life. When these children aren't given that mentorship and the guidance in life, they are much more likely to fail, and it is seen in all kinds of statistics. So, with you getting involved and helping those in local cities or local towns in poorer areas, you will help them succeed in life and get a job on equal level to us and everyone else receiving degrees in the world. The hope of the future generation rests in your hands, and the world and America are right there waiting. And from this, I believe America will prosper and can invent even more things than we could ever dream of if the whole basis of the next generation is educated and given the proper guidance and way to live. In a quote by Gandhi, I feel this sums up my ideas. Be the change you want to see in the world. By doing this, you put yourself out there and make yourself feel good, and also realize the effect that you can have on others and the world environment. Gandhi understood this, so why can't we all understand this? I believe by you helping this cause and helping these underprivileged children, we can change the face of America and the world. Go out today and help these kids. They need it.